Live. My name is Kelly Matuskiewicz. Obviously, you know that because you are on my page. Or maybe this is the first time you're seeing me and somebody shared. If that's the case, say hi. If we've been friends for a while, say hi too. I'm glad you're here. And if you happen to catch a replay and you have any questions, post them below and I will circle back. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about different ways that you may be stopping yourself. You may be getting in your own way. And like what's actually underneath the surface? What is actually stopping you from making choices that you need to make? What is actually triggering fear within you that has you not take the next step? What is causing the cobwebs in your mind of confusion that's keeping you from having the clarity about the choices you want to make, the next steps you want to make, taking leaps of faith, making choices to make a change in your life? I mean, what do we know now is that the only thing that we really have control over is how we respond to these changes, right? So I know that I've been receiving a lot of questions and inquiries, and I see these patterns in the collective consciousness and the collective energy around what a majority of people are moving through. And so in this video, I'm going to share ways that you can identify for yourself, like what is really happening, how to go under the surface, see what's keeping you in self-doubt, what's keeping you in fear, what's keeping you in confusion, and guiding yourself to get the clarity so you can take those next steps, so that you can make those choices, so that you can make those decisions. Because life is like, we've all been shaken up a bit, right? And kind of like that loose figurine in the snow globe. And so things are changing. And if you've been holding back in, wanting to like make a pivot in your life, to maybe go in another direction, to maybe finally do that thing that you've been passionate about, but you've been holding yourself back because of self-doubt or stories or insecurities. What I want you to understand is that if you are coming up against the same thing over and over again, you keep stopping yourself, or you feel like you're hitting up against a wall, or you feel like you're in a crossroads and like you don't know what to do, right? A lot of that is in your mind. A lot of that's why I talk about hashtag unfuck your mind. So you can have the awareness of what's going on, but what I want you to understand is if any of these things are happening for you, that there is very likely unresolved emotions, unresolved pain, or unresolved trauma that has not been processed through your system. And what happens is that so this is a very good example of what many of us are going through right now. We're going through this pandemic. There's a lot of changes that are happening. Life, as you know, has changed. The routines have changed, right? And so what we do is we get into action. We step into action. We do the things that we need to do to continue like our survival or safety, our well-being, right? And when we have events that are triggering or traumatic and we go right into action mode, a lot of times what happens is we bury what we're really feeling about the situation. The fear, the uncertainty, the overwhelm, the anxiety, right? Who's got time for that? Who's got time for that when I've got to make sure that I take care of my family, or I don't know what's going on with my job, or, whatever, right? Or, whoa, it's about time I start living the life that I want to live for me. It's about time that I stop holding myself back from expressing myself, from doing something that I love with my time, getting out of my own way to allow the love and relationship that I want in, or, finally, getting to the core of what is misaligned in your body that's causing some kind of illness, disease, aches, or pains, right? And so when you come up to these choice points and you find yourself self-doubting, confused, overwhelmed, there's a really good chance that under the surface there is unprocessed grief, unprocessed fear, old trauma. And the reason I say that is that these experiences that we have that kick us into action mode, to keep us in survival, to keep us in to go, to keep us feeling safe. When we don't process it, we store that in our system. We store that in our nervous system. We store that in our physical body. And so then when you have this idea and this inspiration to do this thing or launch your idea or share, go outside of your own comfort zone or, take it a completely different life path, that's when all of these stories come in, the negative Nancy that tells you can't do it, or the fear tells you that it won't work out, or the overwhelm comes in and says, you won't be able to do it, or excuses like, this is not the good time. It's not the right timing. It's not, you don't have the money, right? When your guidance is coming from within your being, within your own knowing, with your connection to source, your higher self, God, and you ignore that also compounds on this, I call it clutter inside your energy system. Okay. And so when these inspirations come up and you ignore them, or these inspirations come up and these, these voices or these stories or confusion or fear stops you, that keeps you this nervous system overload. Okay. It's not so much about you're not taking the right action. It's not so much about confused. It's not so much about you need the clarity. It's really so much about what is under the surface that hasn't been processed, that when you make a conscious choice to add something new or different, or make a choice outside your comfort zone, your nervous system sets off high alert, too much. And then that's when the stories come in to stop you and give you all of the reasons why you can't do the thing. It brings in the self-doubt, it brings in the confusion, and it brings in the fear. But, fear and excitement have a very similar energy to them. And so when you're doing something that is outside of your comfort zone, it might be excitement. It might not be fear. And so what I'm offering inside this time together with you is that to drop a little bit lower beyond the confusion, to drop a little bit underneath the self-doubt, to drop underneath the fear, and just tune into your body, because this is where we store all the things. This is where your nervous system is held, okay? And tune in and say, and feel like, and ask your body, what am I really feeling? What am I really feeling? What is really going on in the surface? And address it, and see what it needs. See what that part of you needs to be heard. Do you need to talk to a friend? Do you need to do some journaling? Do you need to just go move your body and move the energy out of your body and move your energy out of your being, right? This healing that we're doing, this expansion doesn't have to take a long time. So I just want to wrap this up is that if you are hitting a glass ceiling, if you keep seeing the same cycle of fear or self-doubt or insecurity or excuses of why you can't do the thing that is coming from your heart and soul and your desire, and you're so excited and you're so passionate about it and so much you want, the loving relationship or the booming business or the healthy body, but something keeps stopping you, I invite you to go a little bit deeper. And your body is communicating to you. And when we continue to not listen to it and not listen to it and not follow, it begins to pile up, and those aches and pains and illness and disease and anxiety and depression all manifest from the underlying energies that have not been addressed. And your life is so very much worth you no longer being held back or limited or held captive and, fighting that dream that wants to come through you. This is your life. You're meant to be the expression of what it is that is in you and through you. And you're way more powerful than you've been taught. And there is magic in you. And that magic wants to be expressed in some way. And if you find that you're holding yourself back and you're tired of hitting yourself up against that glass ceiling, and you do the inner reflection, you do some journaling, you move your body, you tune in, and you still find yourself in the loop, I have some at-home self-study courses at reasonable rates. And if you're ready to really dive in, I'm doing one-on-one mentorship with people. I have 2 spots available right now. It's for 12 weeks, and we can get right to the core of what's going on for you, clear the energy, and then have you step into that space of being in the driver's seat of your bus, right? Being more consciously aware of what comes up and how you can take the situations and experiences for your own learning to move forward and to grow those spiritual muscles. All of my clients have been checking in with them about how have you been in this time? And everybody's they know how to work with the energies. They know how to be present with the emotions that come up. They know how to do the alchemy work that takes what's happening and puts it into materializing more of it is that they want, what they want to experience. And I'd love to do that for you as well. Let me know if you have any questions on what I shared. And I think that's it. My website, www.makebigmagic.com. We could talk a little bit more about this mentorship if you're interested. And as the energies that are coming are really going to start to reflect back to you the spaces where you're limiting yourself, the spaces where you have held back, can no longer manage resisting what wants to come through you. And yeah. You are meant for more. If you feel you're meant for more, you are meant for more. And I would love to be the guide to support you in clearly identifying what's in the way and, holding your hand and rocking out as you move into that creative space. So be well. I hope that some of this supported you, that knowing that going in is the way through. And I promise you that if there was an easier, faster way, I know it. And I'd love to share.